Hello, my name is Michael Cruz from the Learning Resources Department, and this is video 2 of the Digital Textbook video series. This installment will cover how to navigate the digital textbook and how to use the features provided by the digital textbook in order to maximize the experience. So the first thing you're going to do is go to your My Courses homepage. You're going to select the course that you have a book paired to. What I've done for this particular video is I'm going to use the Moral Compass that's in the ethics class because one, I have access to it, and two, I think it's a good book to show because every student at the college is going to take applied ethics regardless of their degree track. So at some point everyone's going to interact with this book because all courses use the same book because it was produced by the ethics department here at the college. So what I do is I go down and I see where it says go to my Connect section. Now remember, this might be a little different on yours because mine's the instructor version, but it should look somewhat similar. When I sign in here, you can see where it has the book right here, and I'm going to click that book. And now I'm in my textbook. And what's great about digital textbooks is they have everything you need right in one spot. And so this is the front page, the cover page of the textbook, if you will. But if you'll notice, when I come to the table of contents, I can jump to certain sections, right? I can go to part 1, part 2, part 3. I can see the different chapters. It really allows me to cut right into it real quick. So let's say I'm looking at chapter 1, the foundation of ethics. I click on that and it breaks down the different things within it. But I'm just going to go chapter 1, part 1, right? And so I jumped right to it because let's say this is my first assignment that I have to read. Now, you'll see here, you have the page that displays here. You can forward the page with these. You can reverse the page by clicking next or back. You have a lot of cool features you can use. There's actually a feature here that lets you read the page.
Introduction. After a big storm, you discover that the roof of your house leaks. You are concerned because times are tough. You don't want to deplete your savings by having to pay for costly roof repairs. Someone recommends Acme Roofers to you, a good work at a fair price.
Now, as you can hear, it's not exactly the best at pronunciation, but it tries the best it can for computer technology. But the screen reader is a cool function for people who like to hear it, people who need to hear it, or if you just want to play it in the background while you're thinking about stuff. It's a tool there to use at your leisure as you need it. Another cool thing here is you can change your font size. So if you like to see your font bigger, you can raise it up. If you want to see it smaller, you can shrink it down. I don't know, who's going to be looking at that, but somebody might. Or you could just leave it right there in that middle. Okay, and then when you get on a page that has more than content than fits on the screen, you have your scroll bar here as usual, and you can just start scrolling down. Okay, and then you'll see the different things. It has the key terms and it has charts, and just look at textbook, right? This doesn't look any different than any textbook we're used to seeing. It's just presented to you digitally online. Okay, and so different tools that you can have. You have highlighting tools, where if you highlight by clicking and dragging, now it gives you options. You can add a highlight by just clicking right on it. And see if you click off, you'll see that that key term has been highlighted. It allows you to add notes, right? So I re-clicked on that and I can add a note right here. Okay, so I've added a note in there, and when I click on that highlighted, it shows me the note. Also, when I go back up to the table of contents, it'll show me things that I've noted, right? So when I click on my notes, I can access my notes again. When I click on my pen, I can look at the highlights that I've made. You see? So it's really cool because it's just like highlighting a textbook, only you don't have to have a highlighter with you and worry about, ink seeping through the pages onto the next. You can just make the highlights here. You can make the note annotation if you want. You can place a place here. So if you want to come back, like if you want to stop reading here and come back later, I just used this right here to make a place mark. And then again, when I go back up to this table of contents, I can look at my place marks and see right where I added, and I click on that, it sends me right back to it. Okay? And so these are some of the cool features that you can use in the textbook that are available for this one. Again, like I've been saying, different manufacturers are going to have different features. So you definitely want to take your time and explore what they can do. You can download some of the books. You can print out pages if you want to have a physical copy. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. And really the best way to figure it out is to get in there and just kind of manipulate the tools, see what they do, see how you like them. But I definitely recommend taking advantage of those because we do those notes in our textbooks and we do those highlights in our textbooks, so we have places to come back to. If you don't do that on here, you got to go back and search for it every time. And there are things to help with that. Like we do have a search function here, right, where you can click on it and you can search the text for like Kant, right? We're going to think about Immanuel Kant, and what it'll do is it'll show me everywhere that Kant's been mentioned. So right now I've jumped right to chapter 5. And that's awesome because that's not something you can do in a textbook that easy. I mean, you go to the back, you find the indexed, you see what every page that name's on, but here you can get to it in a matter of seconds. So there really are some great tools. You just have to get in there and figure them out and use them. And then lastly, just some tips to use. Like I would tell anybody with a textbook, please employ a reading strategy. Don't try to just read straight through 30 pages at a time. Don't reread your pages over and over and try to learn it off rote memorization. Use a reading strategy, and to kind of be a companion to this presentation, I have created a video series on the SQ5R reading method, which should be available with this presentation. And what that'll do is really show you a way to break this down and navigate the text in the best way to extract the information most efficiently. Also, time yourself. Give yourself breaks. I recommend using these study cycles of 20 to 50 minutes. Read for 20 minutes, take a 5-10 minute break. Read for 30 minutes, take a 10-15 minute break. Obviously, you know what your capacity is. If you can read longer, go for it. If you need to read shorter than 20 minutes, that's fine too. Everybody just has to find their pace, read at their own pace, use the tools that are available in the text. Take your time with it, but really immerse yourself into the content, and that way you can extract as much information from this textbooks as possible and find success in your courses. So that concludes my two-part series about using digital textbooks. I know it was kind of brief, but to cover everything, this would be a massive video that would go on and on. So really, I recommend when you find out which manufacturers you have, go to their websites, watch their videos to learn all the tips and tricks they have to offer and all the features that their book has for you. Okay? And so now I just wish you good luck and happy reading.